Welcome everyone to the first video for this year here on the channel, and we are going to talk about how to get better at Yu-Gi-Oh! By setting 5 goals this year for 2024. If you want to improve at Yu-Gi-Oh! At competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Then definitely make sure to watch the video, and also I'm going to share my personal goals at the end of the video because I will keep it more general for the video, but then at the end I'm going to tell you how I personally will try to get a little better at Yu-Gi-Oh! In this year. So definitely make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so far, and then let's get into the action. First tip, actually a pretty easy goal to set, but a lot of people still forget about it at a regular base. If you want to be a high-level competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, you have to start somewhere, and the ground base will always be locals. So my advice, my goal number 1 is play more locals. You have to start somewhere. If you're playing with your cards regularly every week, you will improve at the game, you will have more scenarios you're facing, and you will become overall a more advanced Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. And also very important, just having physical cards in your hand. Sometimes people underestimate that. They talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! They think about Yu-Gi-Oh! But at a YCS, you have to sit down, you have to play with the cards in your hand, and you have to actually execute all the moves with your fingers, with your hands. And therefore, sitting down at locals, doing that every week, and improving by playing physical Yu-Gi-Oh! Is definitely the number 1 goal and the first step to become a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player that is better in 2024. Second goal on the list, something that is also very important to me, is that you have to improve your playtesting. Some people just have it very easy, be like, I will playtest, and that means I will just play some Yu-Gi-Oh! Against some friends, and that will hopefully improve me and my level of Yu-Gi-Oh! And yes, that is true to a certain degree. You will improve by just playing, and volume is always something that I'm preaching. If you play more Yu-Gi-Oh! You also are going to get better over time. But I think you also have to up the level of playtesting. You have to introduce maybe new techniques to your playtesting that will further get your game to a next level. And therefore, some things that I'm going to share that I personally do is open hand duels. So while playing against your opponent, both players just put their hands onto the table, and then you basically play the game with an open hand, and both players berate each other on what to do, on what's the best move to do here. So basically, you're both playing both decks at the same time, and those open hand duels really have improved my thinking while thinking about stuff to play around, because you see, hey, there is Ash Blossom in the hand of my opponent, so I have to find a line where I play around that card specifically, and therefore those open hand duels really improved my thinking. So that basically means you're playing 2 decks at the same time. But also another factor, which I think a lot of people are already doing, is you should definitely be switching decks as well while playtesting. Some people just go into a playtesting session and they're like, I'm going to play Unchained for 10 hours straight or something. And I think while that also will give you some upside, I think switching up decks is a lot better. Switching decks with your opponent, also playing Rescue Ace, also playing the other decks in the format, I think is really valuable, because by playing the other decks of the format yourself, you're going to find some stuff you will want to do against the deck as well. So playing the other decks will help you playing against the other decks too, and therefore definitely playtest efficiently, play all the different decks in the format, and maybe think about some other techniques like open hand duels. Goal number 3 is to keep on climbing the ladder. You always want to aim for the higher thing. So if you're just starting out playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh!, first thing on your mind should be to top locals. Of course, that doesn't sound like a big accomplishment to a lot of people, but you have to start somewhere. So top locals, but then next thing on the list, top an OTS championship. Next thing on the ladder, top a regional, and then of course top a YCS, top a national or something. So you always got to think about the next big thing. You can never be satisfied with what you have. Of course, topping a regional is cool, but you should already be thinking about the next thing to do. Hey, I am the best in my region now, so I should also be aiming for a top cut spot at one of those YCSs. And when you keep on thinking about the next big thing and now about the next big step, and having those goals on your mind will definitely improve your mindset, and you will always be hungry at the big events because you're like, I haven't gotten this one yet, so let's just get to the next stage, let's keep on climbing the ladder, and you always gotta be hungry for that. Goal number 4 that you should also absolutely be considering this year is connecting with better players. If you want to improve your level of Yu-Gi-Oh!, maybe talk to the guy that you always lose to at locals, because apparently he's doing something better than you and maybe he has some advice for you. And I can tell you, the Yu-Gi-Oh space is a very, very helpful space, and so all the top players usually will just talk to you and share their information and will help you improve at the game. If you maybe don't have locals near you, just consider joining some content creator Discord or some groups where you can share information, where you can talk about Yu-Gi-Oh, exchange information, improve together. Of course, thinking about it yourself is going to improve you, but sharing with others, improving together, multiple minds will always be more efficient than just one mind. So definitely, if you want to improve as your fourth goal for this year, just reach out to different people. Get your game to the next level together. And then goal number 5, the most generic one, something that I've kind of touched on while I was talking about the other goals already. The thing that I'm always telling everyone is volume, volume, volume. You gotta put in the time, you gotta put in the work, and you just gotta focus on it. If you want to become a better Yu-Gi-Oh player, you have to put in the time. You will not just do it by playtesting once a week or something. If you want to be one of the best in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, you gotta think about Yu-Gi-Oh every day, you gotta play Yu-Gi-Oh every day, you maybe gotta play test Yu-Gi-Oh every day, you gotta talk about it. Like, definitely Yu-Gi-Oh can be time consuming, but it's also very, very good because you will get rewarded for putting the time in. So if you prepare for a big event, like a YCS or something, consider it as like preparing for an exam. You want to do well in an exam, same thing than doing well in a YCS. You gotta put in the hours, you gotta put in the studying hours, you gotta put in the playtesting hours, and therefore volume will always be key. If you put in more work than the others, you will minimize the variance in the game because you will be knowing more than your opponents. You can make more educated decisions over a long game, over a long tournament as well. And therefore, just volume, 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 being ahead of your opponents information-wise and study-wise will get you to the next level, and definitely something that I'm advising everyone for 2024. Just put in the hours. Those were the 5 goals that you should be considering if you want to get better at Yu-Gi-Oh 2024. But now I'm also, as I promised, going to talk a little bit about my personal goals for Yu-Gi-Oh in 2024. And the first thing is locals. I was preaching that you should be playing locals. I kind of was lacking on playing locals in the last couple of months as well, so I want to step up my locals game as well. I want to this year play at least 50 locals. I want to be there at a very, very, very regular routine. And I mean, I'm living in Berlin. I have so many locals. I basically have locals every day of the week, so getting to 50 locals this year should be easy peasy. So that is definitely something I want to be doing this year, and I will definitely be hunting for that. Also, OTS Championships, Regionals. I think those are such nice tournaments. Of course, I will be hosting, casting some of them as well, and therefore I cannot always go for them, but I want to go for more Regionals, for more OTS Championships. I love competition. I love exchanging with the community. I want to be in the playing field, and therefore I will try to, I don't know whether it's possible, but I want to play like 30 OTS Championships / Regionals or something. I just want to be out there grinding with the boys, grinding with the community, and therefore I want to put in the volume. As I was telling, volume is key, so that's definitely something I want to do. Also, because I am usually casting European YCSs, I can never really play them. I wanted to do that for years now. I want to go back to an American YCS playing one of them, and I definitely say it here, and you can quote me on that. I will be at least one American YCS this year. I will definitely be flying over there, and I will be showing up, hopefully showing some results over there in the American landscape, playing an American YCS, maybe already the team YCS in Vegas. Not 100% sure yet on that one, but that is definitely something I have already put my eyes onto for sure. And then one cool thing that I also think to do is just have one result from the last season and try to up it. Last season, I got top 16 at Denmark Nationals. I don't know which Nationals I'm going to play this year. I'm obviously not going to play German Nationals because I hopefully am going to cast that. But wherever I'm going to be, I will try to do better than top 16. So Nationals is like the event where I have a goal in mind, specifically results orientated. Usually, I will try to aim for volume goals, like up the numbers, put in the work. But for nationals, as I was top 16 last time, I want to go top 8 or better. So let's hope this is working out. I will be putting in the work for that for sure. And then last but not least, Master Duel. I also have some ambitions because I have not done too well at those Duelist Cups or World Championship qualifiers so far, and I want to get top 100 in one of them. I want to at least get top 100. I mean, of course, first place would be cool, going to Worlds and so on, but I think I have to work my way up first. So top 100 would be something I want to get in 2024 as well. Hope that is accomplishable. I think it definitely is if I just put in the volume, put in the work. But yeah, that's all the goals for 2024. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, as I was saying earlier, maybe like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment for the algorithm down below, and see you somewhere playing Yu-Gi-Oh! in 2024.